All right, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Cody. I'm a marketing specialist here at QNAP, and I'm here with our product manager, Deval.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
And today we'll be discussing how you can use QNAP as the storage foundation for your home media environment. So taking a look at the agenda, we'll start off looking at photo management with QNAP's app, QuMagie. We'll then discuss Google Photo Backup using the QNAP Mars app, and then video streaming and videos. We'll look at video streaming with our Video Station app as well as our Plex integration. And we'll take a brief look at QNAP's music server capabilities as well. We'll then go into, pardon me, sorry about that. We'll then go into our live demo with Deval, and then we'll open things up for a Q&A time. So let's get started looking at our home media. So QuMagie is QNAP's AI-powered photo management app. QuMagie will pull in your photos and videos automatically from your multimedia shared folder in File Station, as well as from other shared folders that you designate. And QuMagie supports object recognition as well as facial recognition for easier searching and organization. And sharing photos and videos can also be done directly from QuMagie. So when you look at a photo, you'll be able to see various data next to it when you open it, such as the location, which will be just imported from whatever metadata is on your phone if you take it, as well as tags that you put on or anything like that. So there's a lot of just metadata and extra information when you're browsing photos or also for searching photos and videos. And so to facilitate the AI components like facial recognition, object recognition, as well as grouping photos together by person, thing, or location, you can install the QNAP AI Core app. This is free to download just in the App Center in QTS, but you'll just also need to download Container Station as well. And once you have this, you'll be able to see these features under the Explore tab in QuMagie. QuMagie also provides a mobile app allowing you to view and manage your photos on your NAS from your phone. This is available on both iPhone and Android, and if you are backing up photos as you're taking them from your phone, you will use the QFile Pro app on your phone to do that. So QFile Pro can kind of work in conjunction with your QuMagie. QFile Pro for backing up the photos, and then QuMagie for kind of viewing and managing your photos. And in addition to QuMagie for photo management on the NAS, we also have the Mars app to help you back up your Google Photos to your NAS. This is a free app. You just connect your Google Photos account, and then you can start photo and video backups from Google Photos and schedule backups as well. And QNAP also supports video streaming for all of your stored video content with our app Video Station. Installing Video Station also enables thumbnails for videos when you view them in QuMagie. So it can automatically just have those thumbnails. And Video Station supports classification into home videos, movies, and TV shows. Video Station also supports smart collections, grouping videos with similar criteria such as tags, ratings, or color labels. And Video Station supports DLNA, Apple TV via QMedia, and Chromecast, allowing you to easily stream from multiple devices from the NAS. And if We also integrate really well with Plex. If you aren't familiar with Plex, it's an immersive video streaming platform that enables you to create your own intuitive video library interface for video files that you have stored on your own device, in addition to various shows that Plex supports for streaming. In order to play various types of files, transcoding may be necessary. QNAP supports both software transcoding and on Intel models, hardware transcoding. Hardware transcoding is best for streaming higher resolution footage, but a Plex pass is required for hardware transcoding. And QNAP also supports great audio experiences with support for both Roon and Sonos. Roon is a high quality, more immersive music platform designed for audio files. It supports a high fidelity audio experience and takes the metadata from your audio files and it organizes them, creating an intuitive browsing experience. So when you're looking at a song, you can view the musicians easily. Everything is easily clickable, and you can kind of go down the rabbit hole of going from one album to another musician and so forth. And so it's really immersive, and it's a really cool interface. And QNAP can serve as the storage for Roon music, as well as a Roon core, which is required for Roon to kind of do all the heavy lifting that's required to do all that organization. QNAP is well suited as a Roon core because of our powerful processing and because we have numerous models equipped with M.2 SSD slots, allowing you to have SSD storage for the Roon core without giving up a drive bay. And SSD storage is pretty important if you're running a Roon core on it. In terms of Roon storage, it's probably okay to have the HDDs, but if you're running the Roon core, should be done on the SSD. And you can just set up your own storage pool on those M.2 SSDs. To put that Roon core on. And QNAP is also compatible with Sonos equipment and speakers, providing terabytes of storage for all of your music. So it's a great companion to Sonos. It's great to use with Roon. So a lot of options for your music streaming. And so now we're going to get into our live demo, and Deval's going to show us how some of this stuff works hands-on.
Thank you very much, Cody. All right, so good morning, everyone, and good evening for some users. So today's demo will be focusing just on a few features for home media streaming. As holiday season is coming up, I know a lot of you guys would probably have like people over your house, and then you want to stream your music, you want to stream your videos, and NAS is a great platform where you can store all your pictures, your music, your videos, and then QNAP provides different methods of streaming those through like your TV, your sound system, different ways to access your data. Instead of paying a monthly subscription fee for like services like Google Photos or Apple Photos, you can store all of your media, especially once you take with your phones. You can store them into your QNAP NAS that has a high capacity storage. And why don't you use that to stream all of your data through like a TV or a smart TV or Apple TV or something like that, instead of paying a subscription fee for those services. Also, for music as well, as we showed on the slide, we do support Roon core. We will also support Sonos system as well. So if you have a Sonos speakers in your home, you can easily stream a like a lot of your music that you have stored or that you have with your QNAP NAS. So Sonos system allows you to stream music through your network attached storage system, which I'm going to show you shortly, and they can do that as well. And for videos, as I mentioned, you can use Plex media streaming services. You can use it as a free service, or you can pay a lifetime subscription fee. that allows you to have more features like transcoding. So let's get started. Let me share my screen first. All right, and if you guys have any questions, you can always put them in the questions tab, and I'll keep answering them. We'll also have a specialized Q&A session, so we can do that as well. First, I'm going to show you Mars streaming. Sorry, Mars application. This is an application that we have available for downloading your Google Photos into your QNAP NAS. Now, if you have a lot of Google Photos uh, that you have stored, or that you have a lot of photos in your Google Photos application on your Android phones or even on iPhone as well, and you don't want to pay the subscription fee for Google Photos. I think it's $9.99 for a terabyte of Google Photo storage. If you don't want to pay that, you can. You already have a NAS. Why don't you down? So Google QNAP allows you to download all your photos from Google Photos into your QNAP NAS, and from there on, you can cancel the service, and then you can actually keep using Google Photos. You actually don't have to cancel completely because Google Photos allows you to have 15 gigabytes of free storage capacity. So you can actually, once you download everything, you can delete all your photos and go back down to less than 15 gigabytes. And then you can keep using that free 15 gigabytes to take new photos and videos, and then you can use Mars application to keep downloading all the new photos available um, through through Google Photos. Now, another great question that we just have is, can we use Mars to download from iPhone? Currently, Apple does not allow us to download or join Mars as an application to Apple Connect Apple accounts, but you can actually use um, there's two ways to download all the photos from an Apple iPhone. You can either use a QFile application that allows you to upload everything from QNAP from your phone to your QNAP NAS. I'm going to show you that shortly as well. Or you can actually download Google Photos into your iPhone, allow access to all the photos, and you can upload all the photos from Google Photos to Google Photos, and then from Google Photos you can download the Mars, and you can download through Mars application. Initially, if you have a lot of photos, then you may need to either pay Google Photos for a monthly subscription for 1 month until you get access. You can upload all the large photos and videos once the Mars application has been updated or downloaded. You can then cancel the service, or as I mentioned, you can use a QFile application. But there is a way to use Mars application in the future with iPhone. You just have to use Google Photos as a way to connect to Apple iPhone, take new photos, and then use Google Photos to upload to QNAP. So I hope that made it clear. In the future, we are trying to work um, with uh, with Apple to hopefully get access to Mars into iOS application as well. But right as of today, we don't have it. Another question came up is, will this webinar will be recorded? Yes, definitely. This will be a webinar. We usually put our webinars into our QNAP college college YouTube channel, as well as we'll send out a follow-up email as well. So to connect your Google Photos, just click on Add Service. Now, this application is available from the App Center. Once you have done that, just click on Add Service. Make sure because we also support WordPress. If you have WordPress website, you can actually also download that as well. But Google Photos, make sure you click on Google Photos, click on Add Service, and just put in service name. That could be anything, and then click on Connect to Google Photos, and then just enter your email address and password, and you have to give it continue to allow access to all the photos, and click apply. Once you have done that, it's connected. Now, what you need to do once it's connected is you need to start a backup job. So you click on backup job, you can create a new backup job, and then select Google Photos, and just name the backup job saying photo download. And you can also put description if you needed to. The source application will be your Google Photos, select, and destination will be a folder on your NAS. Now you can actually have any folder within your NAS. you can actually put like you can actually create a new photos saying that if you have a lot of people, like if you have family members using the NAS, you can actually have all of them use the NAS application and then download their photos into Google Photos. So you just have to name each folder. We recommend having each folder for your each family member. Or you can actually, if you have multiple users, you can actually go to homes and then create their own account. Or so right here, I have two different accounts. You can actually create different folders. So when they download the photos, it'll be only seen on their own account. Nobody else can access it other than admin. So you can do that as well. I'm just gonna keep it simple. Just select the folder, hit select. You can actually download all the photos, or you can actually specify different albums. I think I have multiple albums from my QNAP NAS on my Google Photos, so I can just select that each either different albums, or I can just select certain album and download it as well. Now, another great feature that QNAP offers or Mars application offers is on a scheduled basis. Now, this is a feature you're going to be using if you want to keep using Google Photos. So you can schedule, you can add a schedule saying that you can back up my Google Photos daily, weekly, monthly. So what this does is that uh, you can once once you have downloaded all the photos and you're down to the free Google Photos account, which is 15 gigabytes, you can ask the QNAP NAS to download every time you take a new photo. So every day, QNAP will look at your Google Photos account to see what new photos have you have taken, and it will only download the new photos and then daily, and then that's it. So you can actually ask the QNAP to do a daily backup at 2 in the morning and hit apply, and then click on apply, and this will download every time it takes new photos. You can also start a new or a backup job right now, and it'll start backing up the Google Photos application. So that's how simple it is to use a Mars application to download all your photos from Google Photos application. And as I mentioned, a trick because Google Photos allows you to do free 15 gigabytes of data. Um, it will actually so you can keep using Google Photos as a free application. Just use the free 15 gigabytes and use Mars application to download all the new photos and videos you've taken. And then once the photos are downloaded to your QNAP NAS, then you can delete that from your Google Photos account. So you can keep it as free 15 gigabytes of download. So that's a great feature. So, and then because Google Photos, and that's a great transition for me to show you QuMagie application. Now, because Google Photos allows you to have more features like facial recognition, like object recognition, like locations, you can actually use all of this service as a free service with QuMagie. QuMagie again is a free application available from QNAP NAS. You can download it from App Center, and then once you have done that, it will look at all your photos that you have downloaded, and then it will create different types of metadata like people. So it will recognize all the pictures, and it will see how many photos of different people you have in your Google Photos, or I'm sorry, in your QNAP NAS, and it will actually do facial recognition of all the people. And then you can so initially it will show you every photos or every face will show you who am I. So you can click on who am I, you can enter a new name, or if you have already started like naming people, you can actually, if it's an existing person, you can actually select that name, and and that particular photo will be downloaded into that account. Now, the reason that QNAP may have different names or different recognition for the same person is it could be different angles of the same person. So if you have, or different age, so if it's a pretty young person, it may not recognize the same person. So you may see the same person being recognized multiple times, but all you have to do is you can click on that as a who am I, and then just select that particular person, and it will download and it will combine them into that particular person's name. Once you have done that, you can click on that person, and it will show you all the photos that you have taken within that particular for that particular person. And so that's photo recognition. So that's how simple it is. Since Google Photos allows you to do that, but you have to pay monthly subscription, QNAP does that for free. And again, this all remains, so then all the features I'm going to show you all remains within your QNAP NAS. None of the data that you have seen, or like your facial recognition, the location information, is none of that information is uploaded to our servers. All this AI application that is happening is all within your QNAP NAS, and it stays within the QNAP NAS. In fact, you can actually disconnect the QNAP NAS from internet and then keep it on the local network, and everything will still work as is. So nothing will be changed. So all you have to do is you have to make sure that you manually update the application as we release new updates. So just make sure you keep on top of that, because this application, we keep on improving this, especially the AI features of the application. So we do release many updates for this application. So you want to make sure that you want to keep that updated, so you can download, you can keep looking at the QNAP App Center on the website. So you can go to qnap.com and go to support, and then go to App Center, and then this is where you can select the NAS information, or whatever NAS information that you have, and then make sure you download the application available, like QuMagie. And then once you download it, you can see the version, make sure the version is the same. If it's a newer version of the QuMagie, then you can download the application. It may be a different version right here because it is a different NAS. So let's see, let's keep it simple. See if I can do that here. So make sure you select the correct information of the operating system and of the NAS as well. See, it's 2.1.4, and on the application is also 2.1.4. So it's the same application. If your QNAP is not connected to the internet, the QNAP App Center won't pop up there's an update. So you just have to keep periodically checking this application, this website, to make sure that you have the latest version. So once you have done that, just download the latest version. So just keep that in mind. Let's go back to QuMagie. It can also recognize different things. Now this is all automatic. So we'll look at your photos. You can see how many people are detected, how many things like foods, greenery, like flowers, architecture, nature. It will just recognize different things from your photos, and it will try to group them together. So let's say if you want to look at photos of all the cars that you have in your photos, and just go to search and type cars, and it will show up all the photos of the different cars that you have taken within your picture, within your photos. And you can also look at like nature photos, and you just click on nature and type enter. If there's nature photos, it will show up that as well. Oh, sorry, that is wrong. So yeah, I will try to recognize different photos, different methods. Also, it will recognize similar photos. So if you take a lot of similar photos, it will try to recognize them here, and you can delete the similar photos. I don't have any similar photos; they won't show up that here, but it will try to show that information here as well. If you tag a lot of photos, it will show up under tags. But another great feature is that under locations, it will look at your photos information, and this information relies on your QNAP's on your photos metadata. So if you look at your photos metadata and you look at the location that the photo have been taken, it will try to group them together into different locations. So like a lot of photos taken different locations, you can click on that, it will show you all the photos from that location. So if you travel a lot, this is a great feature. So you can actually look at the maps information. Now, there's one thing if you disconnect your NAS from the internet, the only thing that won't work is the maps information. So because the QNAP cannot log in online to download the current maps information, this will not be able to show up on your QuMagie because it doesn't have internet access. If your NAS has internet access, you can just click on the maps and it will show you all the places that you have taken the photos, and you can scroll up, and if you have taken different, so if you travel a lot, especially internationally, and you have taken a lot of international photos, you can actually show up here wherever you have. Most of my photos are in the United States, so it will show up under here as well, and you can go to that location, click on that, it will show you photos from that location. So if you travel a lot and you want to look at photos from different locations, you can click on maps and just see where the photos were taken, and you can look at that information as well. So that's another great feature that QuMagie offers as well. If you have a lot of 360 live photos, videos, it will show up here as well. You can also do albums, so you can create different albums. You can actually create a smart album. Smart album is basically just you can create quickly create an albums um, from this particular location, and it say I want to create a new album for a person like Sam. I click on add, and click on just type Sam, and then click on create, and it'll quickly create an album with all the photos that have Sam in them. So instead of creating, like, you can actually go back and create a manual album as well. You can go back, it will show you all the photos from different on your NAS, and you select each photo, and then you can create an album. But that takes a lot of time, right? If you want to create an album, like a album for a person or a location, you can actually quickly go to smart album, and you can actually say create a photo for this particular person, and it will create that particular person. You can actually create a folder for smart albums for a date that is taken. So you can actually, so if you have let's say you had an event, it's like somebody's birthday, and you've taken a lot of photos. So instead of going to create an album and selecting all the photos for that particular day, you can actually go back in time and click on 7th, and then you can actually click on 7, and it will create a album for that particular date. Let's say if you have if you let's say if you go to a vacation uh, last week, you can actually ask the QNAP to create an album for all the photos they have taken from that particular between those particular days. Click on OK, and you can name that vacation 1 or vacation 2, and click on create, and that will create an album, and you can actually share that between different users for your QNAP, and you can also expire that link as well. So if you have multiple users within your QNAP NAS that were in that vacation, you can actually share that between different permissions. So let's say user 1 who was there, you can actually give them browse only or full access, so they can upload them, they can download them, they can also do all of that as well, or it can only browse information. They cannot upload their own photos, they can only browse the photos. So that's a quick way to do advanced album creation, and very quickly as well. So that's QuMagie. Next thing we're going to show you is Plex application. Now, especially when you have a vacation, like when you have a holiday season, you're going to stream a lot of videos, you're going to stream a lot of movies, especially if you have a lot of library of huge movies in your location, in your house or in your NAS. You want to stream them to your to your audience, right? Plex is a great streaming platform that will allow you to create like a Netflix style library for all your media that you have taken, and you can then stream them into your smart TV. So Plex has application for anything that's smart out there: Samsung TVs, LG TVs, Apple TV, Google Chromecast, uh, phones, tablets, like anything that you can think of. It has an application for everything out there. So it's a great platform. And with your QNAP NAS, especially with like a better hardware like Intel hardware or AMD with GPU, you can actually create a server from your NAS. So you can download the Plex application from your QNAP NAS, and then once you have downloaded the application, QNAP NAS will be your Plex Media server. So it will start hosting your library using the Plex Media server. And once you have done that, click on Open, and then it will open the application. And then and once you have gone through the setup application, you can actually go back here. You can see your Thunderbolt. This is my NAS, and I have music in my Plex in my QNAP NAS. I also have videos as well. You get Plex allows you to create libraries through your music. It will create libraries to TV shows. As I mentioned, music. You can also do photos as well. So if you want to use Plex as your photo organization, you can actually click on photos and just show them photos. So let's say so this is a quick method of adding folders on your Plex application, right? You can select, this mostly remains the same for everything that you select here. I'm going to select photos. So if you do like movies, TV shows, music, or other videos, just the step remains the same. Once you select that, you can name that particular album, NAS photos, or anything that you want to name. Click next, and then under add folder, this is very important. Then the add photos, this is where QNAP will show you, the Plex will show you all the root folders. So you're gonna get confused on all the folders that you have here. So don't get confused. The Plex, because Plex shows you all the folders from your basic NAS, even the operating system folders that the QNAP does not show you, you just have to find the right folder. So you, especially with QNAP QTS Hero operating system, it will show you all the folders. So just click on the all the folders, and you can see the actual folder name right here. So once you have done that, just right here I have a lot of folders and videos under multimedia. Just click on that, click on add, and add library, and it will show, and it will start downloading the information. And then that's where you'll see all the photos and videos as well. Especially for videos, I use Plex mostly for videos and music because that's where the Plex shines the best, because it has something called transcoding, hardware transcoding. Now when you have a lot of, let's say, let me give you an example of like Netflix. When you browse music, and or actually sorry, when you actually watch movies and videos through Netflix, and let's say if you're traveling and your hotel Wi-Fi is not that great, uh, what Netflix does is that Netflix lowers the quality of your video to something like instead of a 4K file, it could be like 720p or even 480p, 360p. Try to lower the resolution of the file, so even if you have a bad internet connection on your phone, you can still try to stream something through your through your Netflix application, right? So instead of waiting for buffering, you can actually watch it in lower quality and still be able to watch all the videos. Similar to that, Plex also has something called transcoding. Transcoding is a feature that Plex uses to lower the resolution of your video file. So instead of, when you're traveling, instead of 4K or 8K or 12K video, if you have a bad quality internet connection, you can use um, the Plex application to lower the resolution. For example, so let's this is actually a very high resolution 4K Ultra HD 400 megabits of video files. Sorry, you can actually go to Plex application right here. I'm gonna start to play back the video. Now it's gonna play back the video, and I can see right here it's playing back the original quality. Now if I go back to my QNAP NAS, I can look at the resource monitor. The resource monitor, you can see my CPU usage. It's actually not even touching because it's using something called hardware transcoding on my QNAP NAS. Hardware transcoding allows you to be able to, now if I try to, let's say, you can actually ask the Plex to play original quality, or you can actually ask QNAP, or so the Plex to play like a lower quality if the video is buffering a lot. So if it's buffering a lot, you can see the CPU usage has jumped up because it's trying to it's trying to convert that video file into something lower quality so you can actually play back. And I can see that now the playback is working properly because it's actually playing back at a lower quality. You can actually go back and go to like a really low resolution. You can see right here my CPU usage has jumped up so much. Now this is odd because the CPU usage should not be that high, especially for this particular model. This is an Intel iCore series processor. This is a very high. Let me show you the memory, the information about. This is an Intel 12th Gen i7 processor. It should be able to handle the transcoding very simple. It shouldn't be buffering, shouldn't be hitting 70% CPU usage. Let's see why. So we go to settings, and you can go to transcoder and show advanced. It's actually not using any kind of hardware transcoding. That is the reason that if you're not using hardware transcoding, it's going to use the CPU's raw power to try to transcode it. So it's going to use software transcoding. Software transcoding is great for CPUs that does not have hardware transcoding, especially non-Intel hardwares and non-GPU. So let's say if you have an AMD NAS that does not have the GPU, you may have to use the software transcoding because AMD currently does not have hardware transcoding. But if you have an Intel NAS, you can actually use what we call as Intel QuickSync, which is the hardware transcoding part of Intel processor, to be able to transcode the video on the go. So let's enable that. So I'm going to enable HDR tone mapping, hardware transcoding, and hardware accelerated video when available, and click on Save Changes. Once you have done that, now let's play back the same file and see what the CPU usage will be right now. So if I go back and play, I'll go back and let's say transcode to like 160p. You're going to see the CPU usage. There is no hit. There will be a small bump in the CPU usage, but it won't be that high as the 70% because the QNAP is now using the hardware transcoding. So it's actually using hardware transcoding, and actually see there's no effect on the CPU usage at all because it's not using the CPU's raw power. It's actually using a specialized chip inside the Intel processor called Intel QuickSync to be able to transcode that particular video into a lower resolution. And you can actually, another benefit of having this is that you can actually see that you can actually convert that, and actually it's going to be actually much faster in converting as well. As you can see, that it's much faster in converting the video because it's actually playing back as well. Another feature that, and then you can see the CPU usage is quite low, and it's going to be staying low because it's not actually using the hardware software transcoding. Another great feature that hardware transcoding allows you to do is play back multiple files at the same time. You can actually ask, so I'm going to play back, I'm going to open my phone. So here's my phone. I'm going to actually play back so this is for people who have family members who actually also use Plex as well. Now, let's say if you have kids, or if you have a lot of family members that actually stream at the same time, they can actually stream together, and you can see the CPU usage would not be able to affect it. So I'm going to play back a file on my phone. I'm going to also transcode it to something lower, like a 720p. I'm going to also transcode this in a 720p. And you can see the CPU usage is not jumping up because it's actually both my phone and my QNAP NAS is actually transcoding together, and the QNAP is Plex is actually transcoding, and it's actually playing back in two different players. So it's actually streaming from the same Plex server, which is a QNAP NAS. It's actually playing back at two different locations. You can see the CPU is quite low. So that's a great feature with Plex transcoding, is that it allows you to stream to two different locations at the same time, or multiple locations. With this CPU usage, you actually be able to transcode a 4K file into different locations. I would say you can actually have up to 3 to 4 people play back using your own Plex server, and it will not be able to affect that video at all. So that's another great feature with Plex transcoding. Last thing I want to show you is music streaming. So with QNAP NAS, you can actually now be able to stream music through Sonos application. So now I have a Sonos speaker at this location. You can actually now be able to stream your music content using the Sonos application. We always supported Roon, but we also now support Sonos. Actually, Sonos supports something called NAS music streaming, but not a lot of people know about this feature, so I wanted to go through that as well. So now, if you have a lot of Sonos speaker and you have a lot of music saved into your QNAP NAS, you can actually open your Sonos application, go to settings, and go to system, scroll down, go to music library, and click on music library setup. Click on add shared folder. Now you can just put in the IP address of your NAS, and then if you go back on my QNAP NAS, it's under the Plex folder under music. So you can have to put in the as I mentioned right here, um, I put in the IP address /plex/music. That's where my music folder is. Once you have done that, you can go back under music and go to music library. You can see under, so it will try to generate like the artist information. It will generate the song information, the composer, all of that, albums and everything. The Sonos application is great. It's like Plex. It will look at your music and it will actually generate a lot of metadata using that information. But let's say if you want to just go to folders, you can go to folders. You can go after folders added from your NAS. You can go to like I'm gonna go to samples. I'm gonna try to play back, and it will show you all the folders, all the files that you have under under that particular folder. You can click on any music, and it will start playing back on your Sonos speaker. So that's how simple it is to play back. Or this is actually streaming through the Sonos application, but it's connecting to your NAS, and that's actually playing back under and actually streaming through your Sonos application. That's how simple it is to stream all your music. So if you have a lot of family members over the holidays that's coming over and you have a Sonos system, you can actually use the Sonos system. You can, and you have a lot of music MP3s that you have on your, like a collection of MP3s music that you have on your NAS. You can just upload that into your NAS, connect it to your Sonos, and start streaming to all your Sonos speakers all over the home. So again, that's another great feature that QNAP allows you to do with Sonos application. All right, so that is it for today's demo. I'm going to hand it back to Cody.
All right, thank you, Deval, and thank you guys for being with us. If you guys have any questions or curious about anything we've discussed today, please feel free to voice your questions now. We're opening up for Q&A, so you can just type those in the question box, and we'll be taking those.
All right, so there is a couple of questions. Is that the question is of the QNAP OS being hacked? There's a right now there's no vulnerability available on the QNAP NAS. Everything is patched, so you shouldn't be worrying about. And we have another webinar that we actually is uploaded on a QNAP College channel. Actually helps you. It goes step by step on how to secure your NAS. So even if you haven't visited or joined that webinar, you can play back that webinar and just follow our steps, simple steps on how to secure a NAS. Remember, QNAP does not require the NAS to be on the network. You can actually disconnect it from the internet. It is a network attached storage. It has to have some kind of network connectivity to be able to access it through your network. So most of the features, again, streaming features, all require some kind of network connectivity. So, but you can actually ask the router to disconnect the NAS from the internet. So, so you don't have, these features can work offline. Just be sure that some features may require internet connection, like Sonos may require the NAS to be on the network, but disconnected from the internet. So again, so just be sure, just visit the other webinar, follow our guide to how to secure your NAS. So again, that's another feature, something that you may want to look into. Another question is, if you have assigned and confirm using your iPhone, with all those metadata will be yes. So metadata will stay even when you transfer through Google Photos, metadata will stay. So you want to make sure that you can use the Mars application to upload everything, and rest assured everything will be saved. Another question is, so you can, again, as I mentioned about the download application, so you can download it to a thumb drive and then go to a computer where your NAS is connected to and upload it there. You cannot connect it directly to your QNAP NAS and upload the firmware there. It's just we don't want to because we don't want you want to have another computer. So in case something disconnects, the QNAP, the computer can disconnect, or computer can safely update the firmware. So you have to use a computer to update the software on the QNAP NAS. Yes, so you can actually add permissions on the go. So if you have albums, you can actually edit the permissions and add new members on the go as well. So if you want to, let's say if you forgot to add a family member for that album, you can actually add them in the future as well. So yeah, the permission is changeable. You can actually remove permissions as well on the QNAP NAS if you wanted to as well. Right, so that is it for the questions. I'm going to wait for 2 more minutes for any further follow-up questions. If you guys have any, just put in the questions information in the questions tab. And hopefully, and we'll be able to answer that for you. If not, I just want to give you an update. Next month, we're going to have another webinar that will have some giveaways. So we'll have a NAS giveaway, we'll have some hard drives giveaway. So just be on the lookout for that particular webinar invite. Will be sometime in the second week of December. We'll send out an email. So please feel free to join that webinar. You have to join that webinar to be able to be qualified to be on the giveaway. We'll give, as I mentioned, we'll be giving away a QNAP NAS. We'll be giving away some hard drives. So that's a great chance for you to win something with our webinar. You can, again, not only you get some quality information about how to use your QNAP NAS, the advantages of using QNAP NAS, but also be eligible to be able to win something as well on that webinar. So be a lookout on that. It's in December, sometime in the second week of December. I'll send out an invite as well. Yeah. So again, we'll wait for a minute more for any further questions. You guys have anything? Just keep posting that information.
All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I think we will close this out. But thank you for joining us, and keep your eyes open for the follow-up email. We'll put the video of this on my QNAP College, or on a QNAP College YouTube channel, and we'll include that link in the follow-up. So thank you again for joining us. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys next time.